I've been working night security for almost 7 years now. And like most people in this line of work, I've learned that boredom is usually your biggest enemy. Long hours, empty buildings, nothing but the hum of fluorescent lights and the occasional radio check to keep you company. You start to feel like nothing interesting ever happens. That belief is exactly what got shattered one night last fall. I was assigned to a small office complex on the edge of town. 3 low-rise buildings, a nearly empty parking lot, and a surrounding stretch of woods that swallowed sound once the sun went down. The kind of place where footsteps echo too loudly, and every shadow feels heavier than it should. My shift started at 11 p.m., and by midnight, the entire complex was dark except for a few emergency lights inside the buildings. Around 12:40, I noticed something strange on the security monitors. One of the cameras covering the far parking lot kept flickering, cutting to static for a second at a time. That wasn't unheard of, but what bothered me was the movement trigger. Every time the screen glitched, it logged motion. I leaned closer to the monitor, expecting to see a raccoon or maybe a stray cat. Instead, there was a person. They were standing just at the edge of the camera's range, near the tree line, completely still, hood pulled low, face hidden in shadow. The longer I watched, the more uncomfortable I felt. People don't usually stand like that, not unless they're waiting for something. I grabbed my flashlight and radio and decided to check it out. Protocol says you don't leave the booth unless necessary, but this felt necessary. As soon as I stepped outside, the silence hit me. No insects, no wind, just the faint buzzing of the lights behind me. When I reached the far end of the lot, there was no one there. No footprints, no sound, nothing. I told myself the camera had glitched and turned back toward the building. That's when my radio crackled. Not a dispatcher, not another guard, just breathing. Slow, deliberate breathing, like someone holding the mic right up to their mouth. I froze, asking who was on the channel, but the breathing stopped the second I spoke. A few seconds later, the radio clicked off entirely. I hurried back inside, my heart pounding harder than I wanted to admit. I checked the cameras again, and that's when I saw something that made my stomach drop. The same figure was now standing right outside the building I was in, close enough that the camera caught the outline of their shoulders, still not moving, still staring straight at the entrance. I locked the door and turned off the interior lights, watching through the glass. Minutes passed. Then the figure raised his head slightly, just enough for me to see his face. They were smiling. A wide, unnatural smile that didn't change, didn't twitch, didn't blink. I backed away from the door and called the police, whispering into my phone like that somehow made me safer. While I was on the call, I heard something behind me. Footsteps. Slow, careful, inside the building. I spun around, flashlight shaking in my hand, but the hallway was empty. The dispatcher was still talking, telling me officers were on the way, when the footsteps started again. This time, closer, right outside the security office. The doorknob turned. Not violently, not rushed, just a gentle twist, like whoever was on the other side knew it was locked and wanted me to know they were there. A voice followed, calm and almost friendly. "You didn't wave back." I didn't move. I didn't breathe. The knob stopped turning, and after a few seconds, the footsteps retreated. When the police arrived, they found nothing. No broken doors, no signs of forced entry, no one in the woods. They told me it was probably a prank or my imagination playing tricks on me. But here's the part that keeps me awake. When I reviewed the footage the next day, the cameras never showed the figure leaving, and at exactly 12:58 a.m., every camera in the building recorded the same thing at the same time. Someone standing directly behind me.